Hello everyone. This video is like a very long Q&A. I would recommend listening to it like a podcast because there is literally so much stuff, but I didn't want to cut it down any more than I did because it perfectly explains our experience. Like, it has so many little tidbits of information that don't necessarily run in a linear pattern, so I'm sorry if it's not very easy to navigate. I'm going to try and put timestamps. It's a good video to watch if you want to get a whole kind of picture of a camp experience, and also I've got some of my friends who are lifeguards, specialist counsellors, as well as us general counsellors. Jess is from New Zealand. She flew all the way over from New Zealand. There's a lot of like different experiences in there separate from my experience, which I know I've spoken about a lot on this channel. I hope you enjoy it. I would just like to say also that remember that every camp is different, though our camp is a pretty standard structure, I think. But yeah, every camp is different obviously, so you've got to measure your expectations. So I would recommend just putting your headphones on and listening to it like a podcast episode because it's fairly long. I think it's all worth listening to, but if you don't feel like you need all of the information, I have obviously tried to put timestamps so you can try and navigate your way through it, and leave any questions if you have any and we'll try and answer them.
Lily's really good at editing, so just keep talking because she can edit it.
Otherwise, Lily, I'll get my lawyer in contact.
Accidentally chat shit about her.
Oh my god! The size of that was like, it was like a little mammal. Welcome to the YouTube video.
Oh wait, this is something.
Drink with how are we introducing us? Should we make a podcast? I have a question. What are the questions?
This is going to be a video where all of me and my friends who have also been to camp with me answer all of the questions that I've had on my videos. So I'm going to go through everyone. And wait, okay, so tell them your name, what kind of counsellor you were, like as in general or special.
Special.
the age of the kids that you were a counsellor for. So first, start with Anne.
You're first.
I'm gonna like start like this.
Can we not start with me?
We'll start with Ed.
So I'm Ed. I was a general counsellor and I looked after 9-year-old boys. I'm Tibbs or Oscar Quads. I was a quad bike specialist and I've looked after 13 and 15-year-olds.
My name's JJ. I've been here before. I am a general counsellor and I looked after in my first year 10 and 11s and in my second year 11 12.
I'm Jess and I was a lifeguard and I looked after 13-year-olds.
I'm Anna. I was also a lifeguard and I was looking after 10-year-olds.
I'm Katie. First year I was looking after 10-11-year-olds and then second year 6-7-year-olds.
I'm Mia. I was a rope specialist and I looked after 6 and 7-year-olds.
Bravo. The first one, this is one that I get a lot and it's like right from the beginning. When you're travelling and you don't know anyone, when you're flying on your own at the beginning, like how does that go? Is it like, do you crap your pants? Was it hard?
Oh, but no one knows anyone.
How did you not crap your pants?
You do.
Was
Yeah,
it stressful?
You do still crap your pants.
You crap your pants.
Yeah, it's scary, but it's a one-time thing. And then after that, like, it's like everyone's in the same boat. The vast majority are in the same boat.
And also, like, everyone you meet at camp are very like-minded. Like, you get on with basically everyone. So, like, once you get there, once you say hello to the first person, you're good.
There might be a few duds, but...
Also, when you get to like the airport, I saw someone who I thought they're probably doing Camp America, so you just have to go up to them. And I was like, are you going to camp?
Yeah.
It's very obvious.
Like,
You get put on the same flight.
Yeah,
Like,
unless you're flying all the way from New Zealand.
Oh yeah, you got New Zealand prospect. You will figure out very quickly who is going to camp. If you look at people with oversized bags and parents who are waving them goodbye,
And
chances
who are
are
kind
they're
of
going
looking
to
around, like,
and
scaring themselves.
on another note, like kind of slightly before that, when you're applying for camps and you're doing all that, did you look for a specific camp, or did you look for a specific location, or like did you specify? No.
No, I literally just signed up because I was in a point in my life where I didn't know what I wanted to do. So I was like, this looks like fun. I got contacted by one camp and I didn't like the look of it because they didn't have any sports. And then...
That's terrible.
And then Green Lane said hello. On the Camp America thing where it shows what sports they had every sport available. So I was like, okay, that'll do. But I didn't have any preferences for places or anything because you're not open-minded.
Yeah, you do have to be quite open.
But I also didn't look at anything in America like where it would be nice.
Like location-wise.
Yeah, I just thought a camp.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest, especially with like the weather and everything, it's pretty much gonna be the same across the board.
I also didn't want to be a quad bike specialist.
I had interviews with like 2 or 3 camps, and my favourite was Camp Green Lane, where we all ended up going. Like, I liked the location, the way it was run. I really liked Adam, when I had an interview with him, and I was just like stand up on the dot. I was like, yeah.
Sorry, that's
How can I make Lily do every single bit of editing she has to do?
I did a lot of research, honestly.
Of course.
Yeah, that's so
She had a spreadsheet.
I did. I had a pros and cons
Wait, I'm gonna
list.
do-
Because when you go to the fairs, instead of like doing it online,
Oh yeah.
they give you a list of every camp.
Wait,
there
I
is.
also had that.
Yeah,
I did have a
and
list
they
of
tell
camps.
you like how
That's
many
what-
people are there, how many international staff, boys or girls, what kind of camp. And so I looked at everything. I looked at like days out they did, and so when I got to the fair, I just straight away went to Green Lane.
Days
and was
out is a
like,
big one. I didn't even think
big
about
one.
that, but like some camps do
Trips.
like we do a baseball game and like a theme park and all that stuff. Fireworks, bowling,
Ice
moving,
skating,
ice skating,
mini
so mini golf.
Mini golf, don't do it.
The
BL.
ice cream is so good.
Mini golf is
BL.
The ice cream's great as well.
The ice cream's
Yeah,
fantastic.
it's
That's the only
100%.
reason everyone goes. Can we do a quick show of hands who went to a fair before they went to camp?
To a fair.
One of the like
Yeah,
the
the
recruitment
hiring
fairs.
fair.
Oh, I went to it. Yeah.
So half class split.
Oh, you did interviews online.
I had COVID years, so when I first wanted to go, I had been placed. I was going to Camp Green Lane as a rope specialist.
Really?
Yeah,
I couldn't tell me.
right?
No.
It got cancelled obviously because of COVID. The next year I was then able to go, and they forgot that they'd hired me as a rope specialist. For the
Good for you.
For the first like 4 days, I thought I was a rope specialist. So I did like half the training. I did half the training before they went and got too many rope specialists here.
So I researched, and actually Camp Green Lane wasn't my top. I probably had 5 and it was my like
7.
when you go to the fair, I was like gonna go to like first or second, but there's so many that I was like, oh my god, like I was walking around, like I probably walked around
It's
twice and I was
overwhelming.
like, yeah,
It's
and I was
like
like,
speed
they
dating.
kept seeing me and I was like, yeah, I've just got to go up to them, and I saw Camp Green Lane.
Some people who are watching this might have seen, well, Katie at one of the fairs.
Oh, so
Yeah, I've been
true.
at like 2 of them now.
Is it just you who went to? Did any of you go to?
No.
I was meant to. Okay.
Next year,
Yeah,
I will.
I'll go to one next year.
There's not many
We probably should go. What was your first impression? First summer, because the summer must have been for a couple of summers. What was your first impression? Like when you walked to camp?
Through the arches.
Through the arches.
Through the arches.
It was literally just, oh my god.
Oh my god, we're here
Yeah.
this time. Because there's also so much on display. When you go through the art, you see like
The cabin.
yeah,
It's
you,
the cabins, the
you straight away
pools,
see the
everything.
cabins, like half the
The
fields.
basketball
Yeah.
court.
You
the
see
lake.
everything.
The
White
lake,
House,
yeah,
no,
the pool.
all
So
that.
when you get there, they say where you're going to, and if you're up on Senior Hill, which is like
Yeah.
a big hill, you're like, oh my god. It's a big suitcase, and you're like, what have I signed myself up for after hours of travelling?
Especially first year, I feel the bus was like deadly. The bus was horrible.
Oh, because of all the
From the
luggage.
airport.
I got hit by a suitcase.
Yeah.
Away like somebody didn't stack it very
The one
well.
this year,
Why are
was
you looking
good.
at me?
You stacked it and I was on your bus.
Our first summer, I didn't meet anyone until we got on the buses
And we
in
couldn't
America.
find anyone.
Well, I didn't know
We didn't
anyone.
know where
And the
anyone
first
was.
person I spoke to, I will not name him, but I introduced myself and he went, yeah, what's up? And then just turned around. I put my hand out in a completely.
But who
Wait, for my first summer, I didn't get Camp America flight, so I organised my own flight. So I then got emailed by our camp director being like, oh yeah, there's another girl who's like arriving at the same time. Let's meet her, you'll be fine.
How did you find doing your own flights? Because like loads of people don't do that.
I
Yeah.
did that too.
Oh yeah, you did that as well.
Well, yeah, you had to go for
Well, we got
New
New
Zealand.
Zealand perspective over it.
So like the
Yeah.
own
24
flights
hours.
was okay. Like I had a big issue with the flying home, but that's like travelling drama. Whatever. That was
Yeah.
like my own fault. I landed in Philly, and they're like, "Oh, it's fine. Get the train." American trains are really bad, and they don't make any sense for like someone who's never been to America before. So we were sat at the train station, like, what do we do? Like, you know when you get off, you got off the plane, you got through security, got on the station, and we were like, how does this work? We got to the main station, and we had like a good like 2-hour wait for our train. So I didn't actually get to. I missed you. Everyone goes to Walmart when you first get there. I missed the
Oh my
Walmart trip.
God, the
It was
Walmart
awful.
trip.
We're talking about Jess and her flights.
Basically, I flew from Christchurch, New Zealand. So I had to get on 3 flights. Total, I was probably travelling for like 2 days. 24 hours worth of flights, just flying straight. So when I got to Philly, the camp picked me up and took me all the way to camp. And they were pretty good, like they were going to stop off for food on the way.
Yeah, but you travel for like what, 8
Yeah.
hours? Maybe
Versus-
they're gonna pick me up.
Still.
It just depends on the situation.
Yeah,
It really
yeah.
depends on the situation.
I arrived
Yeah,
like 2-3 days prior to everyone else because I knew I was
just
like, I was about to say hangover, that's not the right word.
Jet lag.
Jet lag.
Yeah, jet lag.
When you get to camp, when we get to camp, we tend to do a big Walmart trip. What are things that you wish either?
Chair.
Wait. Stop talking. So you packed your case and whatnot, and then you get to the US and you're like, I didn't have to pack. For instance, I didn't ever pack towels. Both times I never packed towels. I bought them immediately. Got 2 towels when I was there in Walmart. What are the things that you wish you just picked up at Walmart when you were there and not packed?
Shampoo and conditioner.
Shampoo and conditioner.
I had a mental breakdown first year because it was too heavy for my bag and I like freaked out and I was like, I'm just not gonna be able to wash my hair.
My mum told me to not pack toiletries. I was like, I'm packing toiletries.
Yeah.
I'm so glad I did.
Yeah.
I did it. I did it first. I got like the biggest bottles at the pump.
Yeah.
To pack them? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You put them in your case?
Yeah,
I bought them from
I'm the
England.
other way around.
I did the other way around.
Yeah. I thought toiletries were really expensive at Walmart,
Yeah.
so I bought a massive thing of deodorant, a massive thing of shower gel, a massive thing of like shampoo, and that carried me basically almost the whole way through camp. When you're travelling later, that gives you like a kilo of weight you don't have to worry about.
As in,
If
you've travelled
included
to
it.
camp with 3 kilos worth of toiletries. Obviously, at the end of camp,
You don't
you're
have
3
to-
kilos
yeah.
lighter. But you bought a jumper, you bought this.
Hello all. This is editing me because I've realised that this actually is really confusing to follow. What is happening here is I'm saying you should wait to get to America to get heavy toiletries, because if you buy full-size products, they will pretty much last you the whole time you're there. Have extra weight in your suitcase to fart around with. But then the boys and me is saying that they packed the toiletries at the beginning. They thought that if they had the spare weight, they would fill it. That would mean they wouldn't have any spare weight at any point during their trip. Whereas if they packed the toiletries at the beginning and used them, then at the end of the trip when they're traveling, they'd have some space. And I'm basically saying just don't do that. But it's up to you. And also the toiletries are not that expensive. America is generally a little bit more expensive, but I wouldn't be too concerned about that. If you've thought about it and you're budgeting in like, oh, I'm going to do a shop at the beginning and I'm buying this stuff. That is what we're saying. It gets very confusing because we're all not quite sure what the other person's saying. Mainly me, I was very confused.
I'd obviously pack toothpaste or something because your first night you might not get to Walmart.
Not every camp I do a Walmart trip. We're just saying about our camp.
Yeah, but I reckon if you have to wait, bring it, because I spent, I'm not even joking, like $150 at Walmart on the first trip.
Yeah.
Because I had nothing.
To be fair, I budgeted to do a big Walmart trip because, and now hold your horses, when you get to Walmart you do tend to then buy like
Chair!
a
Fan is the most underrated thing.
Yeah,
in the
you
world.
have to have a fan.
I didn't have
It's
it.
so hot at
I
Walmart.
didn't have a fun at all.
Well, I
had
did. First summer I did
Yeah,
not
I
have
had
a fan, and I thought it was fine. Second summer I had a fan, and it's such an upgrade.
It's not
so-
great.
I had a fun this summer and I didn't think I needed it and I regretted buying it.
Yeah,
No, I
It's so
like.
bad.
Or get like what I did, I ordered off Amazon. I got Prime, so it would be delivered, and I got this tiny fan. Literally stuck it to the drawer. It was blowing at my face all night
like a
long.
mini
Like,
stand-up
because we
fan,
had
but
a
that was
big one,
okay.
and it fell over and broke.
Well,
You
see,
don't need
I had
a
a massive
massive
box. I disagree. I had a massive box fan that sat at the end of my bed for the entire night. It was absolutely glorious.
It is fabulous. But what I'm saying is you don't have to spend
They're
what,
like-
$30 on a thing.
Yeah.
You don't have to.
The important things are water bottle, because
Yeah.
you
Yes,
need
that's
a
the-
metal
that's
water
the
bottle,
one.
because
One that keeps it cold.
it is stupidly hot and you don't always have access to ice, so you want to keep your drinks cold. Chairs are really good as well for like evenings. You're on your feet a lot and it's quite nice to be sitting down.
But you can also steal your kids' chair.
Or your kids will steal your chair. Chairs go missing.
Put your name on it.
Yeah, put your name on it.
And it's still will get stolen.
Put your name on everything you own, because
It can go missing.
it can go missing in the wash. It can, like, some kid can pick, especially like
People get
shirts.
confused. Yeah.
Yeah.
People shop at the same
People get
shops.
so confused.
I
Yeah.
literally never lost anything though.
One thing that lifeguards, I don't know about you guys,
yeah.
but don't bring expensive sunglasses, because I probably went through 5 or 6 pairs,
Sunglasses go.
losing them, having to buy them, losing them in the lake, putting them in the pagoda, like, yeah.
Honestly, top tip, go to Primark. I bought like 10 pairs of like £1 sunglasses. Perfect. That's all you need. And then if you lose a pair, like, whatever.
Also, bring a water pistol or a water gun.
Or
You don't
steal your
need
kids.
No, we never.
You don't need to, but it's so much fun. The kids will love you.
Or you just steal your kids to water gun and shoot them with it. That's way more fun.
Watches as well.
Yeah.
Watch is good. If you have an
But a
Apple
cheap
Watch,
one.
most camps are fine with it. I made the mistake of wearing my nice watch the first summer
Oh, wrecked
and then
it.
proceeded to jump off a bike. Most Walmarts will do like shit Casio
Get
watches.
the-
They're
The
quite
stopwatch
good.
ones, the digital ones.
Waterproof Casio one.
But take it off. Take it off every now and again because you will get a really bad watch time.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, mine
Just yours
was
is bad, isn't it?
horrific.
Yeah.
Yeah, lifeguards will get it so badly.
Yeah.
What's the ratio like in terms of counsellors to kids? Or
One to one.
But yeah.
Some people, it's unfair.
So,
Some of us
it-
have 3 counsellors with 13 kids, and then others have 4 with 4 kids.
Some of us
It
have 2
depends.
counsellors with 19.
It depends on the age of the kids. So like the younger kids, they tend to have a higher ratio of like counsellors to kids, and then for older kids, for instance, in your cabin it was 1 to 1, and then in my cabin it
In
was
the second
3
half.
to 13. So like
We
Yeah,
did
whether
start
they're
with
We did
four
start
or
with-
seven
they started with
years.
4 to 7.
I've just realised hit every single age group.
We'll go up step by step, and we'll talk about the ratio and whether like it was good, bad, or it was better with more counsellors. Or
Inters, go.
Inters. Inters is like
Inter
young
girls.
Upper we had, I think it was like 1 to 3 kids. Lower we had like 1 to 2. I feel like there isn't that much difference. Lower need more from you, and then I think uppers, they could do their own thing a little bit more. So I feel like there's not much difference in terms of like pressure.
Did you prefer it having 1-to-1?
I mean,
That was a bit much, I think.
What?
I quite liked 1-to-1. They claimed a counsellor each.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
They literally.
But did you find there was favoritism in that?
Oh god, yeah.
Well, yeah, but then each one had a favourite. So,
So
it
it was fine. It was equal.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, no, because they decided between themselves, I want
Who
this
was gonna
one, and
have
they
it.
didn't argue. Like
No.
it was literally.
So there was
like,
room for like a war, but there wasn't a war.
There was no
Yeah, yeah,
war.
yeah,
And
exactly.
every single one of them went, I want this counsellor, and there was no arguments.
Perfect.
Because I feel
Yeah.
like last year that would have gone really wrong.
It's really hit and miss with a lot of things.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
1 year, like my first year experience versus my second year, like literally 2 different things completely. So don't go into it with an expectation. I know we're giving you one, but don't.
Inter boys.
So there was 3 counsellors to 8 9-year-olds in my cabin, which I thought was quite a nice ratio. Like, it was nice. So on the trips you could you do after 3 kids or 2 kids, because like when we do trips out, we would do a draft. I.e., like we would the counsellors would work out. We had 8 kids and we'd be like, who do you really want in between?
Who's gonna run away?
Because like some kids, are, obviously you love them all, but
And
like,
there's
there's like
relationships between each other, like some of them
Yeah.
don't get on. And
yeah, you have to
Yeah,
make
that's
sure
the
they
thing,
all
yeah.
get along in the right group.
like it's very like you can very easily work out the dynamics quite early on. Like you can work out like, those 2 kids really don't like each other. Let's not put them next to each other on a trip the whole time. But yeah, so 3 to 8, and that was a very very nice ratio.
Deb girls. How old are Deb girls?
I had lower Debs, which were 10 to 11. We had 4 counsellors, but I was obviously a lifeguard, so I wasn't there a lot of the time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and then we had 11 girls all together, but 2 of them were only 4 weekers. So then it turned to 9. But you didn't really see a difference.
We haven't mentioned that, like when it's a specialist,
Yeah.
you're having a cabin, like obviously it depends, like for me it was 2 generals and a specialist, and the specialist counsellor tends to be away for the day, or at least a large
During the activities.
Yeah, during the activities.
Especially it was quite nice because, like, let's say if my co's were like tired or needed a break or like it was rest hour, I would kind of be like, oh, well, you guys take a chill and I'll kind of like look after them. You don't need as much supervision because they're kind of doing their own things in the bunk. You can kind of join in with them.
Love rest hour.
The best part of every
That's not every day.
I mean, apart from maybe swim and rest hour are the win part. That's amazing.
Swim is so good.
No, replay.
No.
I
Chilling for replay, doing absolutely bugger all.
You did not go to quads.
I did a couple times.
Cadets.
That's me. A lot of these depend on the amount of kids that are there. So our upper cadets, which is the 11 and 12-year-olds, there was 3 cabins and each of them had 13 kids. Quite a lot. That's pretty much like as full as you're going to get in sort of lower cabs. So I originally had 4 counsellors to 13 kids. One of our counsellors unfortunately had to leave, so then we were down to 3. With those, it depends on which ones you get. My first year I had 4 counsellors to 13 kids and it was very difficult. My second year I had 3 counsellors to 13 kids and it was a breeze. It depends on the kids, depends how mature they are. When you're on off days, obviously people in your cabin will be split. So if you have 3 people in your cabin, if there's an off day, at one point one of you will be left with those 13 kids, which can be quite stressful.
Like 1 person to 13 kids.
So it depends on the cabin. So that's why if you have 4, it's quite nice because you can normally do 2 and 2, and you can for a day you can live with 2.
I can't, I'm so jealous of you.
Yeah, honestly, the
Because there were
1-to-1
days where it was
ratio,
me and 13-year-old girls, and I was just like, no.
But yeah, cadets are great. Go for them because then it means I can go to senior.
Senior girls.
Senior girls.
Right, so me and Lily were next to each other in the cabin. She had 13 and I had 14, and there was 3 in each. So I was a specialist and so was one of the girls in her cabin.
Yeah.
So we weren't there half the time. So if you're worrying about like being left alone with 14, 13-year-olds, you're a specialist, you don't have to do that.
Yeah, be a specialist if you're too scared to do that.
I was never left alone with them.
Whereas I was.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's not like, oh, I don't want to do that. Like, you want to be with your kids, but like, that's too many kids at
They're
one
a
time.
lot.
Like, that is,
Yeah.
when they're older and younger, like, you get different levels of responsibility. Like, when they're younger, obviously, you have to do things like help them get dressed and like
Clean up,
stuff like
clean.
that. Clean up stuff.
Wet
Lovely.
Yeah.
But then
Job.
when you've got older kids, it's almost the same level of stress, but for very different reasons. Like, they will, especially like senior girls, they're teenage girls, 13-year-old 13-year-old girls, they will argue like sisters. So if it's just one of you and 13 of them, a bit terrifying.
Yeah.
Especially because I'm like 5'1". So I'm like looking up at them like, please stop
Yeah, but
fighting.
I will say though, like if you were stuck, so when you sit OD at night, when you're on duty and you're the only one there watching all the girls, I personally had a fight in my cab, but I had to go next door to get other people to come help me.
Yeah,
so it works out.
Obviously, like you can get. They're not just gonna leave you and be like, deal with it. Like if you need help and it's just you and all of your kids, you will.
Supervisors.
Like, there are supervisors.
Yeah.
There are other
Super
counsellors,
early.
like in other cabins, can run out and help you and whatnot. Like don't just like deal with the fact that you're having a mental breakdown and you've got 13
Also,
kids.
I think it's not just the kids, but also it's your codes. Like, I had a really good group of codes. Shout out to my code.
I didn't.
But
Please leave it.
Junior, James.
But like
Welcome
other
back.
people that didn't have good codes, it was definitely difficult. Like you'd hear stories where it's like
You need them
just
to
the
step
communication,
up.
and that's
Yes.
what made their summer not as good.
I-
Wasn't
yeah.
the kids, it was their codes.
I think that's the thing, you need like see what your co's are doing and how they're doing, and you just step up when they're not mentally ready to step
Which
up.
happens a lot.
Yeah, because like,
It's all about communication.
yeah, that is one thing we haven't mentioned. You are exhausted.
Oh,
You like
will get knackered.
you are knackered 24/7, and
You're
I don't know how
like
old
right
the
now.
kids are, but like my kids will wake me up at like 6 in the morning.
But-
So you get like 4 or 5 hours sleep a night, and it's not fun.
But-
If you have time to nap.
Yeah, napping
If
is
you,
good
if,
for
you,
me.
if you don't think you need it, you need it.
Just wait till you write songs, then you only get 3 hours.
Oh,
yeah.
oh,
you're
yeah.
until-
Here we go.
Here we go again. I was a
Right,
songwriter. So seniors in Greek.
Senior boys, my first summer, there were 4 of us and 12 kids. I was a specialist and we had another lifeguard specialist. So there were 2 generals. One of them, shout out Joe Price, he was the boy. Quads was also not working a lot, so I was a general for like half a summer. I think the split was good. Seniors kind of take care of themselves a little bit, and then Greeks let them do what they want. So second summer it was 2 of us and 19 kids. It sounds bad,
And you were
and I was quads as well. So we had 1 general counsellor, but they put the most experienced person. So we had Nate, who was the colour captain last year. Everyone knows him. Everyone respects him.
Yeah. I want to talk about the food because
Hold on,
It's
Nia.
a touchy
What do you think of the
subject.
food?
Yeah, Nia, how much of the food did you actually eat? How many PB&J sandwiches did you have?
Oh, none. I'm not touching that.
We're gonna have a behind the scenes video with so much.
So the food, at least at our camp, was like served like family style. So like people would come and give you big bowls
Waiters.
of stuff. Waiters would come.
Yeah.
Waiters would come and give you big bowls, and you'd like pass it along the table, and then you'd get it refilled and whatever. So it wasn't like a buffet. I know some camps do a buffet, which is it's a preferred style, I think. But we do
I
family
quite like
style.
the family style.
Yeah,
Why?
I prefer
Gives
that.
a home
I would not
feel.
want to take a bunch of 9-year-olds to a buffet.
Right,
Oh, the
salad
cookies,
bar.
yeah.
No, but it depends on the meal because, like, if like certain meals that the kids
wings.
don't like, and then
Oh, it was
everybody is
great.
at the salad bar,
Yeah,
and then there
or
are
the
also some
pasta
meals that
bar.
everybody will
Likes.
like mac and cheese. Everyone mashes through it. Everybody wants so much of it, so then the people at the end of the table don't get as much.
Because the trick is, right, you get your food, if it's something desirable, crack it all on a plate, send
Yeah,
it
give the whole thing back.
and
Yeah.
then you have all
And
the
then
stuff
you
out
dish
on
it
the
out.
plate. But
I
the problem
also
if you
would-
do that is things go very quickly.
I would
so.
also say, like things we had that with the chicken nugget.
Oh,
The
yeah.
chicken
We,
nugget
what
one.
we would do is we'd get the bowl and we'd go round to each kid and we'd literally give them like 3 each, and then we'd give the bowl back,
Yeah.
and then they'd get 3 more. Like, do you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
we'd do it like that because
Yeah,
otherwise
yeah.
they would be like spooning it on their plate and then
Yeah.
passing it on, and then they'd be
But yeah,
like.
make-
At the end of the day, everyone will eat.
Everyone will eat.
Yeah, there's
So-
always
There's
enough food.
always enough food for everyone to eat.
Like, I
It's
mean,
just
it
some
makes
kids
no
have-
difference who eats first. The kids will obviously want to eat first, and I mean,
But-
you're generally supposed to just give them the food, then get it back, and if there's
Yeah.
not enough for you, just get the second load, and it's fine. You will eat.
But it's
Like,
like,
there's no
only
choice.
the popular
Yeah.
food like chicken nuggets and chips that you don't get it. Whereas like chicken marsala, no one else liked it
Yeah.
apart from me.
Oh, when they did the Chinese chicken.
Oh my
Oh,
god!
but for the
No,
younger kids, they think they can eat way more than they actually can. We had kids who would like take all the food, eat it in like 2 minutes, and then they would be quite ill.
They would be.
So
Well,
like,
they
especially-
shouldn't do their next activities.
yeah, so like just remember. So obviously, I had 9-year-old kids, so like and these are boys, so they can eat a fair bit, but like they think they can eat more than they can.
Their
and
eyes
they-
are bigger than their stuff.
Yeah, that is the phrase.
Yeah.
Keep an eye on what they're eating, and like if it's like their 5th bowl of chips, maybe don't let them have it.
Yeah,
Cereal
taste
is
them.
like the Hunger Games.
Oh my god,
yeah.
cereal.
They go so quickly.
Yeah.
They want their specific.
Cocoa
you want-
Rouge.
you want your
Again,
specific-
we don't know
so-
about other camps, but our camp, everyone wants Cocoa Rouge. Everybody wants
Apple
like,
juice.
what- apple juice
The
goes
kids
so quick.
literally, where we go to line up in the morning before breakfast, and once line up is finished,
They
even before
sprint.
they are running running up that hill or running across.
It was about 2-3 weeks in, our kids discovered sun butter and jelly sandwiches.
Yeah.
And then we couldn't get them to eat the actual food that was on the table.
Really? It was just
they were just like, I just want my
I know we just talked about food, but you're veggie and you're a picky eater. So
An
like,
incredibly picky
for
eater.
both of you, how was food at camp?
Much better second year, I would say.
Yeah,
sharing
I
options.
we had different.
We had a
food,
different cook.
A different cook.
Big
Even
Mike
when I
has
got
stayed the whole
dating.
time. Shout out Big Mike, he's the Don.
Wasn't when Alex.
And Bobby.
Yeah, Bobby.
Bobby,
Oh,
we love you,
Bobby,
Bobby.
you're the Don. I love you.
As a veggie, it was fine. Like
I would say there were a couple of times where it was
questionable.
Well, one time there was
Caesar
a-
salad wraps that was just lettuce in a wrap.
yeah.
Some
I
of the
did not
options
mind
were-
that. I would say the worst one was we had deli, which is like bread and meat, and I got there and they were like, "There's no alternative," so I just had bread. That was probably the worst one,
No.
but generally really good. The fake chicken nuggets, incredible. Nothing was like terrible. It was just that deli one.
There were just a few off moments.
They were just like, we just haven't done one today. That's kind of problematic for me personally.
But like, okay, cool.
I see that you couldn't be. It's fine.
Picky eater.
What was your favourite meal at camp?
Chicken.
Chicken nuggets and chips.
I
What was
did
it?
quite like the chicken nuggets. Some meals were fine, but then I'd get like pierogies and I
Oh.
Yeah.
wouldn't eat.
Would you not go salad bar or pasta bar or anything?
There were what 3-4 meals a week where I didn't eat. I didn't eat anything.
This is terrible. Rep.
If you're like that, buy snacks at Walmart that you know you like. and
Yeah.
keep- and
Yeah, did you have snacks?
keep it in.
Yeah, so like I had a suitcase full of British snacks.
Oh, good.
I had Katie's suitcase of snacks, and then obviously we went to Walmart
I
and I
was
bought stuff.
stuffed.
So like I didn't starve.
No.
But I'd go through meals.
Yeah,
and I
You'd
didn't
have to like
anything.
eat your own food.
That's great for the
Some
kids.
camps don't let you have snacks, and also like
Neither do
don't
I.
keep them out in the open so you get
Oh my
ants and
gosh.
shit.
Oh yeah.
Keep them in your suitcase under your bed. That's
And
it.
Yeah.
don't sell them to the children.
Don't sell them to
Yeah,
children.
I don't know
And
why
if you
you'd
do,
need
don't
to be
ruin the
told
economy.
that.
Our kids aren't meant to have food in the cabin. They all have food in the cabin. So when they first arrive, they all come with like millions of candy.
Yeah.
It is your job to then steal that candy and eat it for them because they're not allowed to have it.
You just must.
And if you're in a nut-free camp, make sure they don't bring Reese's
Yeah.
Buttercup.
Yes.
Because they are idiots. They will bring it even though they've been going there their whole entire life. They
Yeah.
will still
Yeah.
bring it.
The next one is, well, actually multiple people have asked this, which is kind of wild because I didn't really think about this.
Yeah.
About using the gym, or if there's a gym, or if you need to use the gym, which I would argue you just don't because you're
No.
always doing stuff. And then also just personal, like what's your favourite activity? Like what was your favourite thing to do at camp on like
Cooking.
a daily? I never use the gym.
Yeah,
So
just-
Wow.
I use the gym once.
The weight room. Some of the
Yeah.
kids will
Oh,
be in their
most-
summer bod phase.
the kids, like some of the older kids will be
And
like
counsellors.
training.
They all have like a plan of stuff they want to do, and that's fair enough. They'll do it in their own spare time. I think if you don't do the gym at home, don't do the gym at camp because you will
You're
just be
tired.
knackered.
Yeah.
You're going to be knackered so much more than you think you are, but you're also going to have a lot of downtime that you need to chill out.
I know
Same
doing
with
so
the
many steps a
kids.
day.
Yeah, you do.
So many
You do so
activities.
many.
I don't know about boys' side, but you think, oh yeah, I'm gonna go for a run or something like that.
I said that.
Yeah.
I said I was going to go
Every
for a run
day.
every morning.
You're
I went on
so
0
tired.
runs.
You just want your sleep, all of that, and like the heat. You're like,
If you can get up before your kids do, you basically that
You're winning.
time is yours. But it's obviously you have to have the willpower to fucking get
If
sleep.
you're a songwriter though, you know you might.
Oh, we get your song right.
Let's go round the other way now. So, what was your favourite? Like, I know you were a specialist, but like, did you have any activity that you got to do that you like? No. Next person.
Yeah, should we move on?
Move on.
The only thing I did apart from was archery. That was something.
It's,
Oh, you like
it's
that?
difficult for specialists because you have like
I was so bad at archery.
Shout out Daddy Paddy, we love you.
Daddy Paddy, we love you.
oh,
It's
I
difficult.
know. So like, not that I did really individual, but when like Olympics or colour war came on, I really enjoyed those kind of things. Like
Yeah.
basketball, because I never played basketball before, but you got to learn something new and see, and like also you hear your kids and like counsellors say, oh, basketball this or softball that, and then you actually get to see it and see them do it and kind of think, oh yeah.
And they have weird sports like
Pickleball.
Yeah, I want
Like,
to say BBK.
They make new games as well. They'll just they'll grab any. They'll just have a ball like we can't like basketball. And we can't play on the basketball court. Let's make it like taps, for example.
My
Grab the taps.
favourite one, technically, it's called pickleball, but it's not actually pickleball because when you're a cadet, you play something called taps, and taps is where you play pickleball, where you play taps. So,
Just saying pickleball and
so,
taps
yeah.
loads.
So if you're a cadet counsellor and you have pickleball on a thing, it doesn't mean pickleball. It means your kids are going to play taps. Taps is a very fun
Oh,
basketball game.
basketball tap.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm with you. I'm with you.
Basketball taps.
Talking about pickleball.
Right, are we ready?
It's literally a basketball game.
Where the,
Because it's
where
like-
the
so
pickleball
it's in the
courts
same
are,
area. Yeah.
where the pickleball courts are, there is one basketball hoop. That is lower. If you break that hoop, you're gonna be the most hated person on camp. That is the taps hoop. If you're a cadet, you will spend your whole time on there because that is basically where all their free time is spent. Taps is very simple. Oh, do I want to explain that?
No.
Oh no.
Basically, you'll play taps. You shoot a ball. You can dunk it because you're tall, and they can't dunk it because you're really big.
Table.
Well, I've been quad specialist, so I didn't have other things to do.
So
My favourite day on camp was when it was raining, and right, I was a light rain, and all my kids were like, "We're not going outside. We're so lazy." And then it was like, we could go outside, but it was still wet. Merrick came in and he was like, "You guys are idiots. Enjoy your summer." And everyone was like, "Oh yeah, it's true." So we went out on Senior Boy Lawn, played American football and we were mudsliding and everything. It was amazing. I would say American football's probably my favourite, just because we don't play it like anywhere here. But also that's really boring. If you play the games, the kids just make up. Like I said, we're like rafter taps. Like that didn't exist. I don't think first.
Or did you guys ever play the ping pong ball one, but with like a basketball?
No.
Ping pong with a basket.
Yeah.
No one knows what that is,
Or
but
like
it's
a
the
ball, and you
best
had to
games.
do it, but it was a good game.
The kids at camp are so innovative with like just having a ball and being like, let's make some sort of game. These are the rules. Done. Let's go.
My kids all had like these little mini basketball hoops in the cabin, so we would play taps in the cabin. That was fantastic. My favourite thing was definitely swim. Like it is hot when you're in the pool. It's like the one part of the day where you're not like absolutely like sweating so much. And also, I don't know what girls' swim was like, but boys swim. Like you spend like it's like 50 minutes in the pool, and you just spend 50 minutes just getting attacked by your kids. But because you're in the pool, you can throw them.
Throw them within reason.
Yeah, well, obviously you throw them into the water. They love it, and they'll come back and attack. They'll come back and attack you more.
Shout out Trevor for breaking.
Swim or lake, to be fair. The inflatables on the lake are amazing.
Katie, you go.
It was not lake.
No, mine was a lake.
I feel like we got really into tennis. I was gonna say the end, but there was a lot of casualties when me and Iona played.
What earth do you
Of like the children. A lot of people got smacked in the face.
with a ball.
Yeah, like just a lot of people got hit with tennis balls when we played, but it was really good. Tennis was so good.
You didn't do anything.
I did rope.
When you're a specialist, you don't really do much else.
I'd say like
near summer,
80-85% of your activities
No,
are
did you not see my timetable?
Ropes is different because you have high ropes and low ropes, so you have like all periods where it's
5.
I think for specialists, their favourite part is like the events.
Colour war, yeah.
Oh yeah,
like,
and Olympics was my favourite because it wasn't the actual sports.
Or the Iron Pigs or stuff like that.
We play Olympics as well. All the counsellors play every sport in Olympics, and it's like blind volleyball.
Yeah, to be fair, our camp is really good in that the counsellors get involved with like almost everything. Like it's
like we have our own stuff in colour war.
Yeah, there's counsellor games and stuff like that where like all the kids watch us.
Yeah, how was counsellor football?
Try not to do what I did, which was trying to win a ball in the last minute of a counsellor football game. I went over someone, landed on my head, and was concussed and like knocked myself out. Recommend don't do that.
Okay, I'm gonna like wrap it up with talking about travelling. Obviously, going into it, you don't really know anyone.
Ignore us.
Literally, what is going on? So, when you go into camp, you don't know anyone there. Unless you've like met up beforehand, which is rare. And the thought of travelling after, because lots of people don't book return flights. Stop touching me with your foot. Obviously hoping to travel for at least a couple of weeks. I'm literally gonna do on this end.
Oh yeah, go.
You are the problem.
Like,
how do you like end up making... I mean, you
So
laugh.
angry.
If you laugh, I'm gonna laugh.
So you make friends while you're at camp. So like I knew no one, I knew no one in this room. Like, and then I was like, oh, I went travelling with him after camp, and it was great.
Yeah.
You know, you're pretty much living in. Imagine you're all living in one huge house.
Yeah, for 7 weeks.
You get to know people really
You've got a week of
well.
orientation, 7 weeks of kids, plus the week after.
Really well.
So well.
Also, don't be afraid to ask people. So, like Beth, who I travelled with, she was talking about like where she was going to travel. I was like, oh, that sounds quite good. Like, I quite like to do that. And at that point, I didn't have any plans. So I was like, oh, I'm quite interested in that. Would I be able to? And she's like, yeah. Oh my gosh, that'd be amazing. But for about a day, I was like, should I ask her? Should I not?
Yeah.
Like the fear of like having it be like, no, I don't want you going.
That doesn't happen
Don't
very
be
often.
scared.
If
No,
at all.
it doesn't.
The week after camp is the week where everyone is like, where do we want to go? Oh, we all want to go to New York. Let's all go to New York
I was
together.
going to say that I was worried because my first summer I had planned to go travelling for a couple of weeks, but I didn't make any plans until, for our camp at least, there's a week after the kids leave where you all have to stay on because they have some extra event. So we stay on for an extra week without kids there. I didn't make any travel plans until that week, and I was worried that I fucked it because because I was like, oh my god, everyone's made plans. Genuinely don't panic, because we were planning stuff. We were in like Louisiana planning stuff for New York. Like,
yeah,
it doesn't
we did the
matter.
same thing. We planned our accommodation for like 2 days later in New York.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, like, it's cheaper and probably easier to do it in advance.
Oh yeah, you
mine was
definitely if you know who you want to travel with, if you know you and your co-host all want to go to like Philly, then New York, then straight home.
Yeah, book it straight
Book
away.
it as soon as you can, and then you can also add other people in, or they can get like similar
hotels near
places,
and like,
and then you can meet up and just do things all day.
You do tend to cross paths, like we did.
All the major cities around us.
Yeah.
We went to Washington DC,
we
and we met up with all of you.
And everyone was there.
And yeah, because we crossed over.
We met up in New Orleans our first time.
Yeah, we did, yeah. And then we had beef with
that's fine.
We met them.
Leave it in.
No, yeah, it was really good. I think that's honestly my favourite part of travelling, is that you're like looking on snap maps the whole time, like who's where right now, and then you realise that people are in the same city as you, and then you meet up and you will make friends and you will end up booking travelling with. Like, don't panic.
Or maybe you won't. Maybe you'll make no friends and it won't be very good. But who knows?
Not that I do.
Yeah, but like first year I didn't know anyone, and me and Lauren booked it before we even met.
That's
Well, that-
weird.
That is weird.
That's really odd.
Okay, well,
But like it
I don't
worked.
personally like
It
dating.
worked for them.
There's like a
It did work.
2% chance that you don't want to travel with the person.
And you make no friends.
And to be fair, I travelled and there was still drama in my group of people travelling, but it was still fine.
It was fun drama.
Oh, it was.
I was not involved in that situation.
There may be drama, but the travelling will still be fun.
Oh, and also, if you just went in camp, there are no
That's
such
the
thing as
mistake.
secrets in
She's not
camp.
gonna-
It will get out.
It will get out.
So
There
be
is
careful what you do.
Not this
Yep, no secrets in camp.
Don't
Like, you think it's a secret? There are no secrets.
And even like there are months after, like where you're finding stuff out.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
6 months down the line, you'll be like, no, they didn't.
And New Year's
Yeah.
party, you'll find out.
Yeah,
So
you-
like and subscribe.
Don't fall in love with camp. Like, subscribe.
I hope you enjoyed the video. If you have more questions, obviously leave them in the comments and I'll try and answer them. Although some of them are actually really
These
difficult to
two
answer.
will.
I'll get these lots to answer the questions.
Yeah. I'm doing that.
Yeah.
Do they know what camp?
We're at Camp Green Lane.
Yeah.
I have
Camp
mentioned.
Green Lane. Shout out Jay.
We've
Shout
done
out-
quite a lot of
shout out
camp
Jesse
videos
Cohen.
before, so I
He's
think-
the
Yeah.
Sorry.
Max
Just said
Rose,
shout
we
out
love you.
Rose.
We love you, Max.
Interrupted me.
Oh, look at this.
Oh, actually, no, Aunt Rose, you are the best advisor going. I love you so much.
No, and Mills.
And Mills. Oh my god.
I'm Melissa and Rachel.
Okay.
And Mindy.
I'm Mindy. Oh my god, Mindy.
Okay. Thank you for watching. We love you.
Bye.
And goodbye. Bye.